The Galactic Council chamber was silent at first, then laughter slowly filled the vast hall. Dozens of alien races sat in high seats, made of crystal, metal, and living stone. They had gathered to judge Earth's newest military project. On the giant screen stood a single human figure, still and calm. The aliens called it Earth's prototype warrior. Many of them laughed openly. Some shook their heads in disbelief. Others whispered jokes in their own languages. To them, humans were loud, emotional, and weak, a young species, too new, too fragile, too reckless. The human on the screen wore simple armor, no glowing shield, no advanced alien tech, just a uniform, boots, and a hard stare. He did not move. He did not react. An elder alien commander leaned forward. His species had trained warriors for over 100 years each. Their soldiers were born in labs and shaped by perfect systems. Compared to that, humans looked almost primitive. "So this is Earth's great achievement," the commander said. "Is this your answer to galactic war?" More laughter followed. The council replayed old records, human history filled with chaos, wars, and mistakes. They saw humans fight among themselves for centuries. They saw cities burn. They saw weapons used again and again. His species destroys itself, one alien said. How could they ever fight us? Then a question rose from the crowd. It was simple, but sharp. How long do humans train their warriors? The room became quiet again. Aliens leaned closer, curious but amused. They expected a long answer. Years, maybe decades. Surely humans would need more time to fix their flaws. At the edge of the chamber stood a human officer, a Marine sergeant. He had not spoken once since arriving. He did not smile. He did not look angry. He stepped forward slowly. The aliens noticed something strange. He showed no fear, no pride, just calm control. The sergeant looked up at the council. His voice was steady and clear. 13 weeks, he said. Silence fell like a heavy shadow. At first, the aliens thought they heard wrong. Then laughter across the chamber, louder than before, mocking, cruel. 13 weeks. One alien shouted. That is not training. That is a joke. Another alien stood. My people train soldiers for 20 years, she said. And even then, many fail. The sergeant did not move. He did not argue. He simply waited. The aliens continued to mock. They called humans careless. They said Earth would fall in its first real war. They said this prototype would break. In minutes, then one alien noticed something odd. The human on the screen had not changed. No anger, no fear, no doubt, just readiness. The sergeant spoke again, quietly. Training does not make us perfect, he said. It makes us ready. The laughter slowly faded. Some aliens shifted in their seats. They did not like the way he said it. The sergeant looked at the screen one last time. This is only the beginning, he added. And for the first time, the Galactic Council felt something new, not humor, not pride, not unease. The laughter did not stop at once. It rolled through the Galactic Council chamber like a storm. Some aliens held their sides. Others tapped their claws on the floor in amusement. To them, the human answer was absurd. 13 weeks, one alien repeated, still laughing. My species trains warriors from childhood to old age. Another stood and spread his arms wide. We train for battle for 20 years, he said proudly. We remove fear, pain, and doubt. Many nodded in agreement. They looked back at the human sergeant with smug smiles. They believed the discussion was already over. The sergeant remained silent. The council projected more data onto the screen. Human training camps appeared. Mud, rain, cold nights, simple weapons, no advanced machines, no perfect order. This is your training, an alien asked. Where are your neural upgrades, your mind control systems? The sergeant lifted his head slightly. We do not remove fear, he said. We teach them to move with it. The room grew quieter. An alien scientist stepped forward. Her eyes glowed as she studied the data. Your warriors sleep less than 4 hours, she said. They are shouted at, pushed, broken. The sergeant nodded once. Yes, he said. That would destroy our soldiers, she replied. They would fail. The sergeant looked directly at her. Then they were never soldiers, he said. A ripple of discomfort spread across the chamber. Aliens were not used to such answers. They believed war was about control and perfection. Humans spoke of chaos. The sergeant continued, his voice calm. In 13 weeks, we strip comfort away, he said. We test the body, we test the mind, we test loyalty. The screen changed again. Humans running with heavy packs. Humans crawling through dirt and smoke. Humans carrying wounded teammates while alarms screamed. They'll learn one thing first, the sergeant said. Never quit. Some aliens shifted in their seats. They stopped laughing now. They watched closely. An elderly crossed his arms. You cannot master war in such a short time, he said. The sergeant did not deny it. We do not master war, he replied. We survive it. That answer struck harder than expected. The council reviewed battle simulations. Alien soldiers followed perfect plans. When plans failed, they froze. Human units adapted. They broke rules. They moved anyway. This is disorder, one alien said. This is reality, the sergeant answered. The room fell silent again. Then the question came, quieter this time. What happens after the 13 weeks? The sergeant paused. For the first time, he looked almost thoughtful. After training, he said slowly, we give them weapons. The aliens waited. Guns, the sergeant continued. Grenades. Several aliens leaned back in their seats. They did not like the way he said it. Not proudly, not angrily, like a simple fact. And then, an alien asked. The sergeant looked back at the screen, at the calm human standing there. Then, he said, we send them where others cannot go. A heavy silence filled the chamber. The aliens no longer laughed. They watched the human prototype. Again. This time, they saw something different. Not weakness, potential, and something else. Danger. The Galactic Council chamber stayed quiet. No one laughed now. The aliens watched the screen with new eyes. The human prototype no longer looked simple. He looked controlled. Ready. The sergeant stood still, hands behind his back. He could feel their doubt, but he did not care. He had seen this before, many times. An alien commander broke the silence. You say your soldiers learn to fight in chaos, he said. But chaos destroys order. Order wins wars. The sergeant turned toward him. Order wins parades, he said. Chaos wins survival. That answer unsettled the room. The screen changed again. This time, it showed human training grounds in motion. Rain poured from dark skies. Mud covered the ground. Recruits ran forward, slipping, falling, standing again. These are not simulations, the sergeant said. This is real. Aliens watched closely. Humans were shouted at. Commands changed without warning. Explosions sounded nearby. Nothing stayed calm for long. They learned to think when tired, the sergeant continued. They learned to move when afraid. An alien scientist stepped closer to the screen. Your soldiers are pushed past safe limits, she said. This creates damage. The sergeant nodded. Double quotes. Yes, he replied. Damage teaches limits. The scientist frowned. A species avoided pain at all cost. Pain meant failure to them. But why allow suffering? She asked. The sergeant answered simply, because war does not care about comfort. The screen showed a recruit helping another stand. One stumbled, another grabbed him without being told. They moved together. The sergeant pointed slightly. We do not train individuals, he said. We train teams. The aliens noticed it. Then, humans moved in groups. They shouted warnings. They shared weight. They protected each other. Your warriors depend on emotion, an alien said. Dagger's weakness. The sergeant shook his head. Dagger's strength, he replied. They fight for each other. Another scene appeared. Night training. No lights. Only breathing and movement. Orders whispered. Mistakes punished with more effort. They learn to follow, the sergeant said, and they learn when to lead. Aliens exchanged looks. Their armies followed strict command chains. If leaders fell, units stopped. Humans did not stop. The screen showed a test. Leaders removed. Confusion created on purpose. Human units slowed, then adjusted. Someone stepped up. Movement continued. This should not work, one alien muttered. The sergeant heard him. It works because it must, he said. The council reviewed data quickly. Heart rates, stress levels, pain markers. These levels are extreme, an alien medic said. Our soldiers would break. The sergeant looked at him calmly. Some of ours do too, he said, and they are sent home. The aliens were surprised. You accept failure. one asked. The sergeant nodded. Yes, he said. Because those who stay never quit again. The screen returned to the human prototype, standing alone, still calm. He is not special, the sergeant added. He is normal. That statement hit harder than any insult. The aliens realized something slowly. This was not a rare warrior. This was standard. One alien leaned back in his seat. How many of these do you have? He asked quietly. The sergeant did not answer. He only said one thing. Enough. And for the first time, the Galactic Council understood the truth. Humans were not strong because of technology. They were strong because they refused to stop. The Galactic Council did not have much time to think. Events moved faster than expected. An alert echoed through the chamber. Red lights flashed across the walls. An outer colony was under attack. A hostile alien force had appeared without warning. Their ships were fast. Their weapons were advanced. The local defense fleet was already failing. The council turned toward the human delegation. This is not your war, an alien leader said. Your prototype has not been tested. The sergeant stepped forward calmly. Then test us, he said. The council hesitated. Some protested. Others watched the battle data stream in real time. Entire defensive lines were collapsing. Reluctantly, they agreed. Human deployment ships moved fast. No long speeches, no delay, just action. The human prototype unit was deployed. First, they landed in chaos. Explosions shook the ground. Smoke covered the sky. Alien commanders expected confusion. They were wrong. The humans spread out quickly. No shouting, short commands, clear movement. The sergeant watched from the command feed. His face showed no fear. He trusted the training. Enemy forces advanced in perfect formations. They followed strict plans. When those plans failed, they slowed. Humans did not slow. A blast tore through the field. A human fell. Another immediately took his place. No pause, no panic. The aliens observing the battle grew silent. Human units changed routes on the move. They used broken terrain. They turned wreckage into cover. They advanced through fire. Your soldiers ignore standard safety rules, an alien commander said. They ignore death, another whispered. The sergeant corrected them. No, he said. They accepted. The battle grew brutal. Enemy units tried to flank the humans. Humans noticed instantly. They countered without orders. Alien commanders scrambled to react. Their systems demanded approval. Their orders came too late. Human grenades exploded among enemy lines. Simple weapons. Deadly effect. The aliens stared at the screens. They had mocked those weapons before. Now they understood. Human marines moved forward. Step by step. Tired. Wounded. Still moving. One alien general stood slowly. This should not be possible, he said. These are new soldiers. The sergeant did not look at him. They are trained soldiers, he replied. Minutes passed. Enemy lines broke. Their formation collapsed. They retreated in disorder. The colony was saved. Silence returned to the Galactic Council chamber. No one spoke. The battle feed ended. The screen showed human units regrouping, checking each other, helping the wounded, preparing to move again if needed. They are ready to continue, an alien said softly. Even now. The sergeant nodded. Training does not end in battle, he said. It proves itself there. An elder alien lowered his head. This was no prototype, he said. This was a warning. The sergeant finally turned toward the council. We do not seek war, he said, but we do not fear it. The aliens felt something heavy settle in the chamber. Fear. Of weapons. Not of weapons. Not of ships, but of the humans who kept moving forward. The Galactic Council chamber felt different now. The laughter was gone. The pride was gone. Only silence remained. The alien leaders sat quietly in their seats. They replayed the battle in their minds again and again. No perfect plans. No flawless systems. Just humans moving forward under fire. The human sergeant stood where he always had. Straight, calm, unchanged. Elder alien finally spoke. We judged you too quickly, he said. We saw weakness where there was none. The sergeant did not smile. He had not come for praise. You saw what you wanted to see, he replied. He showed you what is real. The council displayed new reports. Human units were still active, still guarding the colony, still alert. They should be resting, one alien said. They have already won. The sergeant shook his head slowly. Victory does not mean safe, he said. It means ready. The aliens exchanged uneasy looks. Another council member stood. How many soldiers like this can Earth produce? She asked. The sergeant answered without hesitation. Millions, he said. That single word changed everything. The room filled with quiet fear, not panic, understanding that the aliens had believed humans were dangerous because of anger. Now they saw the truth. Humans were dangerous because they endured. You trained for only 13 weeks, an alien said carefully, and yet your warriors outfight ours. The sergeant nodded. Duh. Double quotes training gives the start, he said. Life gives the rest. The council reviewed human history again, but this time they saw it differently. Endless wars, broken cities, rebuilding, again and again. They should have destroyed themselves, one alien whispered, but they did not. Another replied. The sergeant heard them. We fall, he said. Then we stand up. The council voted that day. Earth was no longer a minor power. Earth was now classified as a frontline species, not because of technology, not because of numbers, because of will. As the meeting ended, an alien commander approached. The sergeant? If war comes again, he asked, will you fight for the council? The sergeant looked at him calmly. We fight for our people, he said. If our goals align, we will stand. The commander nodded slowly. He understood. The human delegation prepared to leave. As they turned away, one last question followed. Them, what do you call your warriors? An alien asked. The sergeant stopped. Marines, he said. The word echoed through the chamber. After the humans left, the council remained silent for a long time. They understood the message now. Humans did not need perfect soldiers. They needed soldiers who would not quit. Across the galaxy, military doctrines began to change. Training systems were rewritten. Pain was studied. Fear was no longer avoided. But no one could copy one thing: the human refusal to stop. Somewhere on Earth, new recruits lined up, nervous, tired, unaware of the fear they had placed in the stars. A voice shouted orders. Training began. 13 weeks. Then the galaxy would face them, and this time, no one would laugh.